Hello everybody, Thomas here. Thanks so much for clicking on this video today. I just wanted to kind of talk about a little bit, there being talks about a Kick-Ass reboot. Now, Matthew Vaughn has actually talked about this. If you go to the description down below of my video, you'll see a comicbook.com article on them talking about Kick-Ass, and there was talk of a Kick-Ass sequel, another sequel, so Kick-Ass 3, and Matthew Vaughn basically says that he's excited because in 2 years they're actually going to start a reboot, a Kick-Ass reboot. And if you don't know already, Kick-Ass already had a reboot in the comics, so I'm not sure if he's discussing, or what he's describing is actually the girl version of Kick-Ass, and that's the movie adaptation they're going to do. But also, to kind of pique the interest a little bit more, Chloe Moretz on Jimmy Fallon, at The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, Chloe Moretz said that she would love to be in another Kick-Ass as long as, you know, other people that are in Kick-Ass are going to be there too, like Aaron Taylor Johnson, probably Christopher Mintz-Plasse. She didn't say specifically, but it wouldn't be Kick-Ass without Kick-Ass. Now, people love Hit Girl. I love Hit Girl, you know, being a 12-year-old ass kicker, basically, is absolutely ridiculous, and that shock factor from the first movie was ridiculous. It was amazing, and Matthew Vaughn did an amazing job directing it. But I think the problem with the production, or the problem with the franchise as a whole, was that the second movie wasn't directed by Matthew Vaughn. Yes, it was produced by him, but you could tell that it was a completely different vibe. It had a completely different energy, and some of that had to do, obviously, with the director, but also I don't like there's obviously changes between the first Kick-Ass comic and the Kick-Ass film, but in the second one, there's a major plot difference, and that's with Katie Doma, or Katie, not being the love interest anymore, because for scheduling conflicts, the actress that plays Katie couldn't do it for a long time, so I guess she was there for a day to film her cheating on him and basically dumping him because she thinks that he is with Hit Girl, even though they're training and all that kind of stuff. Very strange, very weird, a weird change with that, because they used Night Bitch instead as his love interest, and in the comics it's very gut-wrenching and you know, very emotional, because the things that the MFer does in Kick-Ass 2 in the comics is a whole lot more gut-wrenching, because in the movie, it's just some girl that he's having a fling with, basically. Yeah, they end up kind of having a relationship or whatever, but he doesn't know who she is for the longest time before seeing her in the hospital. And I just find that very strange, and I don't know why they would have done that. But personally, I think that if it was ran by Matthew Vaughn, everything would have at least been semi-better. But with there being discussion on a complete reboot with Matthew Vaughn at the helm, that would be absolutely amazing. I have not watched a Matthew Vaughn film that I didn't like. X-Men First Class, the Kingsman movies, as well as the first Kick-Ass, obviously. Matthew Vaughn definitely has a style, and I love the style. I love the bloody, you know, stylistic choices going on throughout his films, like with Kingsman. The sequel to Kingsman was obviously not as good as the first one, but it still had that same Matthew Vaughn style and that same Matthew Vaughn feel, and that's absolutely amazing. But that's what needs to stick around for Kick-Ass. With a Kick-Ass reboot, we have to have Matthew Vaughn at the helm, because if not, it's going to come crashing down just like it did the first time. The problem, that they say a lot of the issue with the second movie was that it was pirated so much. It only made 60 million compared to the 90 million that the first one made, and obviously that's bombing. If the sequel's not making at least as much as the original film, it's not worth continuing on. Well, obviously the comic books are still very popular, and with Netflix owning the rights to the Miller World the comics, Mark Miller you would think, I would have thought that Kick-Ass would have had a Netflix TV show or something like that, but it seems as though the rights are kind of taken away right now. Matthew Vaughn's not going to touch it for 2 years, which that gives you enough time to, make a script and, just because he says he has a bunch of ideas. So I'm super excited to see what happens. And I would love to see Kick-Ass, be this amazing film, because the original to me is one of my favorite movies of all time because of that shock factor. I saw it in theaters when it came out, and I was like 12 or 13 at the time, so like I thought Hit Girl was the coolest thing in the world. Chloe Grace Moretz is about the same age as I am, and so as time's gone on, I was like, man, that's so awesome, that's so intense that somebody my age could do that, so honestly, I just really, really enjoy the thought of seeing what happens, and I think with Matthew Vaughn at the helm, it would be absolutely amazing. I don't think that he would steer us in the wrong direction, if that makes any sense at all. And yeah, like I said, I am super excited. What do you think about it? What do you think about this news? Do you think that it's worth a reboot? Do you think they should have made a sequel? I think, personally, a reboot is the best way to go. Whether they still have the same characters and the same actors, I think it would make more sense to kind of start over, or at least retcon part of the second movie. I'd love to see Katie Doma back. I'd love to see Chloe Grace Moretz back and Christopher Mintz-Plasse. It would just be amazing to see the original actors continue on, whether it's for a sequel or a reboot. But I do have a feeling if they do create a reboot, it's going to be more on the female Kick-Ass, but not sure. That's just my predictions. That's my discussion. What do you think about it? Leave it in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you do end up liking it. If not, please leave in the comments below why you didn't. I'd really appreciate it. Make sure to click that subscribe button if you like this video, like past videos, and want to see more in the future. Also, I'd like to apologize because my hair is all wet because I just took a shower. Thank you. Goodbye.